Alright, tea time starts at 3:19.
Yes.
Or 7:19.
I'm changing it in the schedule, man. I'm putting it in.
7:19.
Yeah, it's gonna be exactly 7:19. And wow, what a crew of people we have today, guys. Look at this. We got in the opposing corners, the bottom left, the top right. We've got two of the finest minds to grace the World vs. World community. Loved in the YouTube comments. It's Plenyx and Roy.
Yeah, I'm Brazil.
Yeah, Brazil DNT.
Oh.
Shaved Brazil.
Yeah, shaved Brazil and shaved inks.
Young shaved Brazil.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shaved inks.
Me and Inks decided to shave this week.
Yeah.
To show our support for, I don't know what.
Well, in a couple of days, Movember's gonna start, so you gotta shave off all your hair and then start growing just a little.
Grow just this
little thing.
Yeah.
No,
I can't even grow that. It's not.
And in the top left, we have. Well, I don't know. We have something. He came up with a World vs. World build.
Definitely not the greatest mind in World vs. World.
No, dude, you've made it. You found a way to make medium classes work with Thief, dude.
Oh,
But anyway, we're gonna talk a bit about World vs. World today, guys. That's exactly what's happening. And I think the best place to start on the World vs. World thing, and this is gonna go into a broader issue, I think, is.
Wait, Tio. Before
sorry,
we continue, can we address the MMO Inks thing? Everybody's saying, "Where's MMO Inks?"
Yeah, he's gone. He's allergic to you.
He's not. He doesn't like me. So every time I'm on. But the good news is anyway.
To be honest, I only came on Teen Time because I thought Inks was going to be here. I was debated.
Wow.
And then I heard Plenyx was going to be here. I was like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah. You should just leave, to be honest.
Anyway.
Thank God Boots is here, otherwise...
Yeah, he's the anchor.
You're right, I can agree with that.
Yeah. Debated.
There we go.
Yeah.
World vs. World.
World vs. World.
Your intro again.
Yeah, let's do the intro again, guys. Like, something that's happened quite recently, last Friday, in fact, that has resulted in quite a large clown fiesta, I would say, and that is the World vs. World relink, where for some reason, on Europe, in the EU, ArenaNet decided to put the strongest host server with the strongest link server to create an abomination, the likes of which has probably not been seen for a while. Well, since last time, actually, when we had the exact same link. And yeah, it's a complete clown fiesta. The link, people who have been linked constantly are still linked. Deso still has no link. It's a complete clown fiesta, guys. Now everyone's on Underworld and Vabby. It's Vabby World, under Vabby. It's completely crazy, guys. Why has this happened? Why does ArenaNet do this stuff, Boots? Why?
I think it's because they were celebrating the release of Stranger Things Season 2. And so it's all about the underworld. It's all about, so you got to be doing the upside down underworld.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's it.
I mean, that's about as logical conclusion you can draw from anything ArenaNet does.
Yeah, true.
And this is.
I feel like there's going to be a bit of ArenaNet bashing this stream.
I don't think We're not. We're going to be nice to ArenaNet. We're going to be nice to ArenaNet.
All right, I'm out.
Okay.
Bye.
Wait, what? You're out? You're out? No.
Nice.
Wrong.
Now
he's role playing as Brazil.
Channeling
today.
my inner Brazil now.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, obviously, there are some problems with these relinks, and a lot of servers are kind of left high and dry, up creek without a paddle, a little bit hopeless. Whereas some one particular server, like Vabby, which, might not be the best PPT server, which is, I don't know what they're measuring this on, but it is the best server at killing things and just rolling people and stomping them. And this is highlighting a bit of a disconnect between ArenaNet and the World vs. World game mode, right?
No.
Because, wait, no?
You must be wrong.
No.
That can't be true.
You don't think that's true?
I've been lied to the last 5 years of my life.
So, after 5 years, it is finally time to put a stop to this. We're going to re-engage ArenaNet with World vs. World. We're gonna tell them what needs to be done, and this is what we're gonna do. How are we going to go about this? So for a start, Roy, in this in the EU matchup, like, would you aside from the obvious change, like what would How would you go about linking these servers? By what metrics would you gauge these servers? So, suppose you had eyes everywhere, because you do anyway, right? You know what's going on. Roy knows what's up, guys. Simple as that. He knows what's going on. What is okay, all right, yeah. Okay. What metrics would you use to determine? Would you just use like community opinion, kind of try it out a little bit, or is there something else that you would use?
Well, first you delete all the French servers.
Okay.
No. Well, it's hard. It's hard because right now I assume what they do is they link it based on population of servers, which is strange because they've been saying that. So, for a while people were saying that would never work because, take Deso for instance, as you mentioned, they haven't had a link in. I could be wrong on this, but I think it's the last 2 or 3 relinks, so that would be 4 to 6 months without a link. And they're full as well, so you can't transfer to Deso. And so for a long time, people would say that the reason that Deso would be marked full is because there's a lot of PvE players on the server. So that's why it's marked as full, even though they don't have as big of a World vs. World population as, say, Vabby, who doesn't have as many PvE players, but it still is marked as a lower population server. But since in the I don't remember when it was, but ArenaNet posted on the forums that they were using a new metric to determine population, which we've mentioned a few times, which was it's how many people of a certain rank, like the highest ranks, are on a server. So, like, if you have a bunch of diamond players in a World vs. World server, they sort of assume there's more World vs. World players there. And also, I think it's like how often you're ranking up. I'm sure someone in chat can say the exact metric. But basically, what they were saying is that they're not basing it off of just total players on the server, but they're sort of narrowing it down to just World vs. World players. So that if that's true, that's a good thing. Except it still doesn't really make sense as to why Deso is full. And why they haven't had a link for a while, why Vabby has had a link for, 8 months now. It constantly gets relinked, which doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't have a link. And why it's not full. I mean, it should have been full a while ago because it's had a stable population that's been able to basically. So the way the Vabby is set up is it's Ravia and TT, their group, and obviously there's a couple other small groups that follow them. And they've server hopped many times, and they're able to sort of dictate if they want to win the match, if they want to lose the match, if they want to get second. So, because now with the 1-up, 1-down system for determining matchups, you can kind of choose your matchup a bit more. So they're very stable. They've got many of the still active fighting commanders in the game left on that server, as well as many of these still active fighting pugs and like old GvG players and stuff. So it's a very strong core group of players who obviously can beat really any server. So it doesn't make sense to allow more people to transfer there. It doesn't make sense to put a link server there. And this is the biggest issue with links as well, that it basically makes bandwagoning easier. And people have just transferred to the link server every single time Vabby gets a link. And then you have a server like Deso, which doesn't have a link, and it gets crushed. You have FSP, which has had a link for a while, which is a good thing at this point because FSP, I think, needs a link. The only server that shouldn't have a link is pretty much Vabby. And Underworld should be put on a place like, I know you're going to hate this, Teapot, but Gandara or Pyken, Seafarers. Or even better, they should link something like Seafarers and Pyken together because you have these servers that are like marked as host servers. But Pyken and Seafarers probably at this point have less of an active World vs. World population, certainly in regards to fighting, than Underworld does. So like Underworld is more of a host server at this point, in my opinion, than Pyken or Seafarers. So, and honestly, I don't know that there's like a great metric for sort of telling this, except like you said, I'm able to say this because I've been playing the game. I play the game consistently. I'm active in World vs. World, and I really think if ArenaNet talked to some of the players that are more active in the game, if they played it themselves more actively, then it would be pretty easy to tell. I don't. There's no reasoning behind linking Vabby for 6 months straight when it is easily, without a doubt, the strongest World vs. World server, certainly in terms of fighting. And then someone will say, "Oh, but they're not number one." I think it's FSP is rank 1. I've got FSP rank 1. Pike and Square is even a higher rank. So people would say, oh, but so why isn't Vabby rank 1? Because we don't want to be rank 1. We don't care about PPT. We can win the matchup if we want to, but we usually get second place because we want to stay in tier 2 because that's the best place for fighting. And we will win pretty much every single fight. If you were watching Teapot stream on Reset, it was a complete joke. We had pretty much no fights. The enemy groups couldn't get the same amount of numbers on the map as us, and even if they came close to us, it wasn't an actual fight. It was basically like a roamer trying to kill a blob, and that's it's not enjoyable. And now we're stuck like this for the next 2 months. So it's something obviously needs to be changed. Certainly in the way that they determine links. And
if anything, the way that it's going to turn out is going to make it even worse, right? Because as people start to realize that Vabby world is where it's at, you're just going to have more people piling on, right? Because they're going to hop onto the link server.
And so that was originally sort of the attraction for server links, right? When they announced them, they're like, basically, we're going to take a lower tier server, so Underworld, even though it's not really, and we're going to link it to a higher tier server, Vabby. So that way, people who want to go to Vabby will transfer to Underworld, and then eventually, like midway through the link, they will split those servers apart, and they'll both be their own servers. So that way you get more population onto the lower tier servers. And the reason for that was because, obviously, 2 years ago, before server links, there was a very big disparity between, like the Gold League servers and the Bronze League servers. Although some people would argue that was a good thing because some people didn't want to be on these high, big blobby servers. They enjoyed the lower tier servers. But they don't do that. I don't think they've ever, in the middle of a link, unlinked servers. I don't remember them doing it a single time, which is what they said they were going to do. I don't remember them ever going through with that, meaning that they're not really, getting more players onto these lower servers, because as soon as the relinks happen, people just transfer to the next server.
Where's the next?
So it doesn't really get players onto the dead servers. And also Underworld doesn't need more players in certainly not when it's linked to Vabby. That it needs less players when it's linked to Vabby. Like, there's going to be 2 guilds now that are going to transfer off of Underworld because they got linked to Vabby, and there's no way that they can have good fights for the next 2 months linked to Vabby. It's just not. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Do you think it's like they're sort of weighing the choice between having perfectly linked servers and having?
But yeah,
there's not going to. I mean, anyway, but the choice between having perfectly linked servers and knowing that no matter what, there's going to be bandwagoners. So as well as you could link a server, there's going to be bandwagoners, but they get paid when there's bandwagoners. So they're like seeing that there's bandwagoners and not necessarily encouraging it, but
right. But I at this point, I don't think the links are a viable system. I think they need to redo the servers, which is something I've said for a while. But I think again, I say this all the time. Links were a good idea from the start. Now you got to do something else because it doesn't work. There's no way to stop bandwagoning, and there's no way to ever make server population balanced overall. You can have something that works for a year really well, but eventually it'll stop working. People will continue to stack on one server. I mean, it's just going to happen. And a lot of people are saying in the comments now, make battle groups. And I mean, that was an idea. I don't know what happened with that idea. They never really publicly discussed it. They never asked for feedback on it. It was leaked, right? I think battle groups was leaked, meaning they weren't ever planning to say that they were doing anything with it. And I don't know why. I mean, try it. It can't really hurt World vs. World anymore. I mean, and if it doesn't work, re-roll all the servers, which is something I think they should do anyways.
Re-roll servers? Like just
is there anybody...
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, re-roll, like completely...
Right, I mean, delete them and make new servers and shuffle randomize the population.
So if we think about it that way, is that... what kind of repercussions do you have if you just re-roll all the servers? Are there a lot of World vs. Worlders that feel... Now, after mega servers has happened, obviously PvE people don't really have a huge tie to servers. Mm-hmm. It's really only World vs. World nowadays that I think would have it, and maybe role players. But besides that, is there any World vs. Worlders that are really, really tied to a specific server still?
It would just there's a few. Ever since mega servers, it's been a lot less, and ever since there hasn't been a season in 2 years or whatever, there's no server pride. No one gives a shit. There's like 1% of the World vs. World population probably cares. Like Piken, for instance, is a server that has always had the same players on it. It's been they're a close community of, in my opinion, very casual players, but they've been on that server for 5 years. So they would probably be unhappy about it.
Mhm.
But and then the other problem, of course, would be guilds. If you have a guild who raids together and they end up having members split across 10 different servers, it's obviously going to be an issue. So you can't just completely delete everything and then just randomly shuffle players into servers. That wouldn't work.
Yeah.
That
I
does
wonder
not
if
work.
there's a way to not get a poll from the community, or like have a checkbox that say I want to stay on my server, like 2 weeks before they delete everything and re-roll, to say like at least these people get to stick together or something.
I mean, I think what would end up happening is people probably, for the most part, wouldn't spread out that much. I think there's too many servers is part of the issue as well at this point. There's just not enough of a population to justify the amount of servers that you have.
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe you have, overall there should be maybe 2 French servers, maybe 2 German servers, if not just one. I mean, literally compact all the German servers into one, all the French servers into one, and like I think there should 9 servers in total, maybe. And that might even be too much as well. And then you sort of go about reshuffling. But again, I think battle groups is something to look into before you go to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that really was something that was being looked into. I wonder why it stopped. I mean, I could definitely see some difficulties in implementing it. So maybe there's just so many difficulties that it wasn't worth it in the end.
World versus world wasn't worth the effort. Boots. Piece of shit. Dead game mode.
Someone said stop relinking the servers. So if you completely stop relinking the servers, that's an issue. There's 2 things you can mean by that. If you mean split all the servers apart again, so you go back to what it was 2 years ago, that doesn't solve the issue of stacking 1 or 2 servers, because VABI will still be VABI on its own is okay. FSP on its own is okay, but other than FSP and VABI, all the other servers are basically, they're not very good. They're not very strong without a good link.
It's especially true because of the way it's very difficult to do this with a numbers metric, like the way Rexer is suggesting here, like play like first and 10th or something, like second and 9th. Thing is, that's not going to work. I mean, that means you're still going to end up with really wonky stuff because not every server plays the same way. It's not as simple as just who's winning, because I mean, at the end of the day, there are PPT god servers like Piken and Barak. They're just gonna go crazy and cap everything, man.
Yeah.
But they don't win fights. I mean, they don't really care about fights. It's not like they don't really try, right? But then you have something like VABI that, I don't know, that we were just basically running around the map in circles, like trying to chase people and research. We weren't trying to upgrade stuff or anything like that.
It's not an easy thing to determine, for sure.
It can't be.
So
it's a number, right? You can't just do it with a number. It's.
But again, that's people who play the game and have played the game for a while. I mean, World of Swords consistently. They have a better idea of what should be done just based off of them playing. It's not just based off of numbers. Like anyone who's played World of Swords consistently, especially commanders and stuff, they've always been able to say these are the servers that are best for fighting. These are the servers that are best for PPT. And ArenaNet is not able to do that because they don't play.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a period of time before HOT where they had those
adopted
those the adopted ev. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those on the forums. They had discussions where they asked for input from everybody, and they were. I mean, that's how they developed raids. It was pretty good for that, at least. But
the forum. What were they called? It's like forum helper moderate. No.
Like CI something or something. I forget what it was called.
I don't remember.
Community.
Plenyx has been doing nothing but making faces at things we say the entire time.
Yeah, we got to bring him in, man. We got to bring him in. Let's go, Plenyx.
I'm just looking at Plenyx. He's going.
Yeah. He's laughing at us, dude. Hit us. Go.
Hit us?
Yeah.
Well, there's no way. That's the thing. I cannot add anything to it that much. I can totally agree. Like completely, just getting rid of the server links is not a good idea because the system is just buried in completely right now, and it will completely kill everything if people and servers will get unlinked again. But yeah, I was more into something like radical even. What about like picking, just refreshing all the servers like entirely, make a 1 free server transfer and like, I don't know, 6-9 servers as well.
Yeah, so cut the number of servers to.
Are you saying you open all the servers up and then do 1 free transfer for everyone? So how do you stop everyone from going to the sim server?
Yeah, that's another problem. Making them full. Again, that doesn't work. Yeah. It doesn't work though.
Right. If you have a limit on the amount of players that can be in that server, first come first serve, I guess, makes sense. But again, what if you got all the really good commanders in that one server and all the shit commanders in everywhere else?
Well, maybe again something more radical, just completely random distribution.
Delete world versus world. Yeah, that works.
It is. Yeah, you can consider it as completely deleting at that point, because just imagine people. Oh yeah, I have a guild. I'm used to command for this guild for about like 4 years now. Oh yeah, now every single one of my members are on different servers. That doesn't work. So. Yeah, it has to be something like group-wise. I don't know. It's hard because those servers would have to like do this instead of ArenaNet, I would say. How would you like distribute people better than the people themselves? Like they're like, okay, I can be with this guild, but yeah, this guild only has like a limit of 50 people they can bring with and be on one server. So yeah, only those 50 people will stay on that server, and maybe like they get like randoms in this system. And
delete the lowest and highest ranked servers and give them free transfers. Stop asking the devs for fixing the player base that choose to stack servers and the guilds that want to be. Well, yeah, it is the player base that stacks servers. That's not wrong. Yeah. But when you have a server like WvW, who is stacked, and you have a server like Underworld, which is possibly the best competition for WvW, how is it the players' fault that ArenaNet puts those two servers together? It's not. There's nothing that players can do about that. And so then you would say, okay, so have people transfer off. Well, how does that make sense? Rav has been on this server for 6 months, and he built it. Like WvW was a linked server. It was a dead server, and he went with his group of people and he brought it up. He PPT'd for hours and weeks and stuff on his own. And he made WvW a host server. Like he made it stable. And so then you say, oh well, then ArenaNet links the two best servers together. Well, he should just leave. That doesn't make any sense. That's not how it should work.
It's the same for Underworld, right? Like Underworld is the Salt project as well. Like why should we leave, man?
Yeah, Underworld is Teapot's baby.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Plus, it's a lot harder for Teapot to transfer off of Underworld if with Salt, because Salt is a PVX guild at this point, I guess you could call it, with 400 members. You can't transfer that off server. And yeah, obviously the majority of those players may be just PVE, but every now and then they might want to come World vs. World. So if he leaves Underworld and they don't, then they're not going to be able to follow him in World vs. World. Someone's asking what battle groups are supposed to be. So I probably am not the best to explain it. I don't know if any of you guys know better than I do.
I actually never heard about it.
So
I don't know if it's called battle groups, but I heard someone talking about. Oh yeah, you go ahead, Roy. You sounded like you were about to say something.
Well, what from my understanding was battle groups, and it was like a very basic sort of idea. Like they hadn't really figured it out much, and that might be why they didn't pursue it anymore. But from my understanding was it was sort of based on like someone just said it in chat, I think 3 2s.
I think it's his specific idea for this.
Oh, okay. So it was I could be wrong on this, but I think it was based around guilds where you would transfer to a guild. Oh, it was Alliance, right? It was called Alliance.
Oh yeah, Alliance. Yeah. That's what I heard about.
So like it was based around guilds who would like make an alliance, and like that would be the server, I think, and they would sort of control the server maybe. And so basically, because guilds are always going to be the ones who want to fight each other, right? For the most part, the guilds are going to want to sort of spread out amongst the servers, and they've always done that. And so, all right, well, I'll get to that in a second. So if you have the guilds sort of controlling where the players are, or where the servers themselves, then they're going to be more spread out and hopefully more balanced. Someone just said if those guilds would have transferred to different servers and not everyone to the same, then it would be more balanced. Well, there were 4 guilds on WvW, and 4 or 5
Many
guilds on
guilds
Underworld,
on Underworld.
meaning they were spread out, and then ArenaNet put them together, and now there's 9 guilds on WvW and Underworld. Like, it's not, again, the guilds didn't choose to all transfer the same server. The GVG community, right, and so this, and somewhat of the guild community as well. Not every single time relinks have happened, but a lot of times relinks have happened, and we have a Discord as well where we talk about this. We communicate with each other, and we say, "Oh, let's not stack this server. Let's not stack this server." And we spread out, and it's not like every single guild just randomly transfers any server. They check. We won't transfer to FSP, right? I'm in VI, right? So we won't transfer to FSP because that's where AMP is. So we're not going there. We're not going to stay on Babby because that's where Lays and VE are. We're not going to,
Because the guilds actively want to fight each other. That's the whole point. I mean, I kind of say that there is a valid point regarding the community. I mean, I think, although it's an unfixable problem about the community, right? I think this is not a fixable problem. I think complaining about this is like blowing hot air, really. People are always going to bandwagon, man. Like, you can't remove that impulse from people to kind of want a free ride. And like wherever there's this like unstoppable group of like incredibly strong fighting force, like people are gonna go there, right? It's in the same reason that a lot of people will probably transfer to high ranked servers, high tier servers, because they want to just have like a easy karma train basically and just go crazy and just smash everything. So I mean, I completely agree that there is a problem with bandwagoning, but it's an unfixable one. Like, you can't do anything about it. I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't stop people from transferring. That's that's easy money, dude. That's easy money for
Can you fix your bots?
Wait,
what the hell?
Right. So I think then the next sort of step would be how do you get, because a lot of what we were saying is ArenaNet is detached from Worldless World. How do you get them interested in Worldless World? How do you make money off of Worldless World? So, what's wrong, Plenyx?
Never mind. I want to do lose list. Lol. Easy.
Can we ban Plenyx from chat?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, how do you get more money into Worldless World, and how does ArenaNet make money off Worldless World? Because right now the only way, but
like they make money
without
off
transfers.
people bandwagoning.
Yeah, but we don't want that. That's not good. That's not healthy.
Yeah, it's not helping, but you cannot just not allow people to transfer.
Well, no, I'm not saying that, but there has to be a better source. I mean, to be honest, overall, if you think about it, the population of Worldless World has completely plummeted as opposed to the first few years of the game. So they've probably lost revenue overall because less people are probably transferring. People are still transferring consistently, but it's less overall. I mean, that's what my guess is. So it's not really good for them either, in a sense,
You could, yes, I suppose like the way you could monetize it. What are some like siege skins, man? Like a special catapult you could have,
would work.
Like a special ram. Or what about something like
ram?
Like I don't know, like tower or keep ornaments, man. Like surely, like show off some swag. Like you can have like a giant statue in your keep or something. Like put it right on top, or like like a giant. Like the Batman thing that projects the bat onto the sky. Have that shit like project your guild logo onto the sky, man. Oh yeah, how about that? I don't know. A
like
giant
a bat signal.
Exactly, the bat signal.
For
It's a guild emblem or something. I don't know.
Make Worldless World pay to win again.
You
Well,
can
no.
sell various sell boosters that will make World vs. World go faster. Like, why is the World vs. World booster not in the game anymore? I don't understand. No one understands. Just put it back in the game. Let's see what else. What else could you cheat in World vs. World that actually is completely inconsequential? Let's see. I don't know. Just reward track gain in World vs. World XP, I guess, or like exclusive boosters that only work in World vs. World or something. Like just to sell all the cheats, dude.
What would you boost though? Like only rank and
rank and track, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like you can like add a specific like booster, which will basically be an extra pip, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, like pip booster, because that's pretty inconsequential, right? At the end of the day, pips is not. It's not gonna. If everyone could pay gems to get extra pips, who cares, right? I mean that really doesn't affect the gameplay. I don't think. I mean, no, it doesn't at all. Actually, like, at the end of the day, it is just a grind. The way the pip system works. But I think that's not exactly the main issue. The issue is how can we convince ArenaNet to actually pay attention to the game mode? Because when they put stuff like, when stuff like, Power Rev is going crazy, stuff like 20 target Scourge. I mean, what were they thinking? Well, stuff like Spellbreaker Bubble. Like, what's going on here, man? Like, there's just some very weird things.
This is less of an issue with just World vs. World. This is more of an issue with ArenaNet balancing overall, because they're not good at balancing. In fact, I'd say they're terrible at balancing. They're very awful at balancing. Their balancing is dog shit. Should I continue?
You just keep on going worse and worse.
Invent new words.
But it's not just World vs. World, right? Like PvE, they don't do a good job of balancing PvE stuff. First of all, they don't split World vs. World from PvE. Right? Okay. Yes. I'm not saying they're the worst ever. I'm just saying it's not good. Just because there's other partner. Just because there's other things that are worse, doesn't mean that this is a good thing. But it's and PvP, obviously PvP is not balanced, and Path of Fire has been out for over a month now, right? And you have very obvious overbalanced specs and specific skills that people have complained about many, many times. And they say, oh, balance patch is coming. Well, you do a balance patch every 3 months. That's not enough. That's not nearly enough. And on top of that, if they get something wrong in that balance patch, they don't then a week later say, okay, now we're going to fix it. They wait another 3 months to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been so many times where PvP. Someone told me, and I actually didn't know this, that I think it was season 1 when the PvP season came out, there were like high-end like esports companies looking at Guild Wars 1, right, to invest in stuff. And when they saw how broken a certain thing was, they're like, this is ridiculous. We're not going to invest in this. It's clearly an unbalanced game. It's not competitive. It's shit. And things like that, and this it was Mesmer, Bunker Mesmer, basically, that ruined PvP.
Did I? Shit!
Oh, good job, Boots. And so, this build that was like ruining PvP had been around for months and months, and players had complained about it, and ArenaNet was aware. There was no way they weren't aware of it, and they didn't fix it. And it's like Spellbreaker has been clearly overpowered since Path of Fire. Scourge has been clearly overpowered since Path of Fire. Power Herald has been clearly overpowered since Heart of Thorns. However, it wasn't as relevant because the meta didn't support it, but it was still overpowered since Heart of Thorns. And Firebrand is clearly overpowered. So why is it taking them so long to fix obvious things? And this is a whole game thing. It's not just World vs. World.
Yeah,
so
the way they react to the way they balance doesn't work with regards to how the meta game of a game develops, right? Like it doesn't matter if you balance stuff to be kind of perfectly balanced. It kind of doesn't matter because the innate balance of the game is going to adjust itself because people are going to find new strategies and new ways to play that will kind of intrinsically affect the balance. So something that wasn't a problem before might end up becoming a problem, right, because of the way the meta shifts. Then you have to wait 3 months for that to get patched. It's just 3 months. It's just crazy. I mean, you still can't tell if a Spellbreaker bubble is yours or not. Like they have this tech with the harpies, right? But why? It's just,
the thing is,
it's just madness.
Hold on.
I was thinking about those harpies, though. It might be completely different skill. It might be like same, it looks the same, but it has a different color. But it's a different skill.
Exactly. It's
and
exactly.
you were talking. Yeah, you were talking about like making it appear weird, like bubble is yellow, and is it ours? Is it enemies? I don't think they have the tech for it, though. They have the tech for the the circles, but
not really comforting.
But they must do that because dragon banners,
right?
Dragon banners
appear differently.
Yeah.
It
renders as orange for you.
But
for enemy,
that's a thing on the ground. It's like you can see because it's a rectangle on the ground. It's not that it's effect of the skill, because that looks slightly differently, because that looks the same. It's still a fire.
You think they have to make an entirely new texture or something, or effect for...
I don't think they have this kind of like effect in the game at all, actually. Like,
isn't it the same for guard walls? No, guard walls they appear blue either way. The outline, the red outline is easier to see because it's not as big and is also a rectangle as opposed to a circle. So it's a lot easier to see, and like the red rectangle is thinner, so it's easier to see if it's yours or not. Plus, whenever someone drops a bubble, it's usually on top of you, and there's a lot of other red AoEs on top of you. So you're like, oh, this is our bubble, and then you all die, and it's not enjoyable.
It's a tricky issue, right? And the balancing is something that everyone complains about. Like PvE has this stuff where something's like hilariously broken, although in PvE it doesn't really matter really. But in PvP, like spell breakers have just been going around just trolling people this entire time. Like Scourge has been giving everyone cancer since launch, man.
I mean, people don't want to play because of broken specs, and that's always been the case. And especially with how I don't want to say dead, but desolate, maybe is not really a better word either, the community is in a lot of different game modes, in leaving these broken specs is not healthy. And it doesn't help at all. So I don't know why they do it. I really just don't understand it. Like, I can't imagine that everyone at ArenaNet is sitting around the table and saying, hey, let's just balance the game 4 times a year. That's a great idea. We're the smartest people in the world. When everyone in their game is saying you need to balance more. So I don't, what's the reasoning? Like, I'm confused. I would like an answer.
I think maybe the balance team's just very small. The way I understood it is because when they were talking why, that's a good question. I mean, you could make the argument that too many cooks, and if too many people are trying to balance the same thing, it's going to get very complicated very fast. But I think a small team should be able to handle balance badges every month.
Balance team is 3 people. That's good.
I think it's more than 3.
Okay.
Oh, is it? Well, that would do it.
Nike knows stuff. He's got that inside info, dude.
It's like what we're going to break today.
No, we should do. ArenaNet should hire Nike as the PvE balance. I mean, did you see the post he made on Reddit? It's brilliant. Well, Nike should just be the balance.
Here's the thing. I mean, kind of reading the writing on the wall could, actually be good, right? Because you have these guys. Look at QT's website. That even if you read their Discord, man, like it's very apparent that they have these various thoughts about this, and they've done the numbers, man. They've got the spreadsheets, dude. They got those spreadsheet DPS, okay? They know about this stuff. They've tried it. They've tried a whole bunch of stuff. They know how to abuse the game, and it will obviously be the same for PvP, right? If you talk to the high level players, like they know what's obnoxious, right? I mean, like Sin is even playing Spellbreaker because it's so cancer instead of Thief, right? It's like. It's pretty obvious if you talk to people, and I think maybe that's the direction to go, like to kind of bring it full circle with back to how can we actually kind of fix this. Like I think we need to kind of convince Arena to kind of have a bit of a dialogue with the high end community of each game mode, because there are high end communities to each game mode, right? There are these world versus world guilds that just dominate everyone. Like they're probably not going to talk to the GVG guilds, but that's for another time, right? People know who the strongest servers are. People know which servers are kind of a joke. Like people know about this stuff, and in World vs. World, people know what's really annoying in World vs. World. In PvP, like come on, like everyone knows. Plenty of the high level players will be very happy to share some balance. You'll see it on Twitter, people sharing their balance thoughts, right?
It's hard I think it's probably hard to separate the people who know with the loud people in general cases. Like, people are going to complain on the forums all the time. People are going to complain on Reddit all the time. They're not necessarily the people in the know all the time.
Well, no, it's pretty, you can tell, right? Because
for PvP specifically, there's people that are still playing that have, like Helseth, Sin. I mean, Helseth doesn't really play, but people who have won world tournaments for ArenaNet, right? So it's pretty obvious that they would know more what they're talking about, and sure. They would be able to help. I mean, Sin streams every day for 600 people, and he talks about how the game should be better. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of what he says is true, and would make PvP a lot more balanced and better. And the ideas that he has, and no one does anything with it. Are you telling me that of those 600 people, not a single person from ArenaNet watches it and has tried? I mean, and he's an ArenaNet partner too.
Yeah, I doubt that nobody watches it.
Like, what's the deal with that? There's if they wanted to, 100% they could talk to the players. And so, I mean, I'm not saying it would fix the game 100%, but I think it would make it better. I think it would certainly make me feel better if they were talking to the players. And it's not like people haven't tried. I've been part of 2 World Wars World initiatives over 3 years that has tried to contact them, and they just ignore us and say fuck off, basically. So, you know.
That is a curious thing.
Yeah, we support enough game modes, right? Kind of.
Well, open world. We support open world.
You're talking about the response I got for the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
I still remember it. Yeah. It's sad and kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah. Guild Wars 2 Twitter is fan art. Guild Wars 2's on streams is fan art. You guys are talking about the nuts and bolts of the game. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if you're saying like, oh, it's just a casual game, well, then we should just give up, right? Is that what you're saying? Like, oh, it's all
never give up.
Like, I mean, you know, if the game is balanced, how can people use tonic meters to full effectiveness? That's a good point. No balance, please.
And this, I think this is the heart of the issue. Like, how are we going to help ArenaNet make Guild Wars great again, guys? How are we going to convince them to, maybe, help them a little...
Hi, ArenaNet. Come talk to us, please, and we'll fix your game for you. Thanks. There you go.
We're experts, XD, but no,
we're experts.
We can at least refer you.
To Roy.
We can at least refer you guys to experts.
Boots will make all your default PvP builds for you.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be like.
That would be a great April Fool's, though.
That would be good, right? Dude. That would be.
If all the default builds were Boots PvP builds, that
would be
Boots is literally the Codex Arena from Guild Wars 1.
Yeah, it is a bit like that.
Yeah. But I mean,
I don't know, like the casual game argument. I mean, of course, at the end of the day, the balance of the game is completely irrelevant for like 90% of the player base, I guess. Is that true though? Let me.
I feel like even the casual players, like, what do they do? Do they just do map comp for 5 years and never get bored of it? Like, there's no dungeons, right? The dungeons are shit. There's no support for them.
Most people just, they'll do like, I don't know, they'll do like, a few matches of PvP, some like fucking casual PvP, just drop in, do some map events, just have a little play around, do some exploration, just chill with their friends, They're not elite. Most people aren't toxic elitists like us, unfortunately. Who are just going crazy. Maybe they'll drop into World versus World. They'll oh, look at Ings. Like, they'll do a bit of everything, right? They'll do a bit of everything. But they don't tend to focus in really intensely on one game mode like, well, I suppose us, right? They'll do a fractal. Maybe they do. Honestly, I reckon dungeons still actually get done, right? But we'll still do dungeons. They'll dip into a bit of World versus World. Like, they'll try and do some achievements to grab skins, like do some fucking crafting, like all this stuff, try and get that stuff done. And this is what the plebs below us. But honestly, I think, they're really important core of the game, right? They'll do dailies, they'll do the Halloween events, all the stuff that's going on in the game right now. That's what's exciting to most players, and that's why balance doesn't really affect that. But I don't know.
Someone just wrote in chat is probably true, and I was actually talking to someone who said they play 45 minutes a day, and it's like, so you're basically ArenaNet is catering to the people. Like, there's a lot more of them, but they play the game a lot less. So, I mean, who should they be balancing to, I guess, or catering to, I guess, is the question. Yeah. And what someone else said, like, what I said before about the PvP, like, sort of the esports companies, I'm not saying make Guild Wars 2 esports. That's not going to happen, obviously. I'm not delusional. No. And it's not saying that they only have to, like, be hardcore, whatever. That's not the case. But they could do a lot more for the more competitive communities. And it seems like they really just don't do anything for them.
Yeah, it is an interesting, curious thing for sure.
What that guy just said in chat, it's top down. So if the more experienced, the more competitive, the more hardcore players are sort of happy, then that's going to end up getting more players into the game because you'll have more top players. There'll be more advertisement for it. Like, I think more people would stream if they'd stream PvP, they'd stream PvE, they'd stream World vs. World if those things were more enjoyable and if more people were playing them. And more people would watch it, So that's absolutely true.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it definitely is the case that will happen. But yeah, I mean, Big L is kind of right here, right? I mean, the balance that doesn't really affect most people, and maybe that's kind of the way they're looking at it. But I don't know. I actually think this is such a guys. This is pessimism. Okay, this is such a pessimistic way of looking at ArenaNet. I think ArenaNet care about their game very much, actually, and I don't know. I really want to believe that they want to make the best of it, and they're just trying to figure it out right now. Wrong. Stop try-harding casual games. XD. Well, you know. It's fun, man. We really like this game. Like, all of us here really like this game a whole lot, right? So why shouldn't we give it a good shot? It's got the best combat system of any game. Like, you know, and they made it a casual game. That makes sense. Yeah. It is an interesting decision to make. Like, you develop this is
a bit of a paradox there.
Yeah. Well,
it's always been a casual game, though. They didn't make it into one.
Well, yeah, except that they also did try to go esports with PvP and stuff.
Yeah, they did try and do that as well.
There were attempts at it, and they had, you know, they.
Yeah,
I don't know if like in the last. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that they did change the thing with PvP, right? The legendary people can't duo anymore. But the thing is that do you know why they did this?
They should delete duo queues.
Probably at this point, yeah. But do you know why they did that, guys? The reason they did that is because it was actually basically affecting the casual players. At the end of the day, like the people who play ranked and were like silver and stuff like that, they were getting like. You can watch these PvP streams, like watch the top players stream, guys. They get matched while duoing with like 2 players in the top 10 can get ranked with people in silver and gold. I mean, that is insane. That's ridiculous.
I got into a game with Sind, and one of the other pugs in our game said, "Hi, I'm from silver too."
Yeah,
and I was like, "What?"
Well, that's what. Yeah, like it's affecting people who just. Are new to the game because they're queuing into rank 1, man. It's just, I don't even know.
I think solo queue for PvP is a good idea, and Sind has said this a lot as well. Like he thinks it's a good addition, but they should go even farther and just make it solo queue across the board. Because now that you have the ATs, you can 5-man queue technically, you know, for the ATs with your team. So you know that's why you don't need it in ranked. And I think solo, you know, he enjoys solo queue more. He was saying, and I think that's true. So. But making it so only legendary players can't duo queue is, I mean, maybe a good thing, but like, I think that's going to make it a bit more annoying for those legendary players as well, because then, you know, they're going to end up in games where they can't carry with a duo queue, and they have 4 people from bronze. Like, oh boy.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen, but yeah.
It'd be rough. Oh, it'd be really rough, man. Oh, I don't know, man. Making this kind of game to an esport doesn't work. WoW tried it, and Blizzard spent millions of dollars trying to make WoW an arena esport, but the general public isn't interested in looking at games like this. Well, I mean, the general public might not, but the community is. You know, and the thing is, that's not actually strictly true. I mean, WoW recently tried tried something different. They did a PvE tournament, and that was actually really popular. It did really well, actually. Their Mythic Plus, which is kind of like Fractals to a certain extent. The WoW players are going to shoot me for saying that. But with the Mythic Plus tournament did really well. I think it had over 20k viewers every time, which is nice for an MMO, right? An MMO tournament, right? So
and I mean, we're not just talking about PvP in World of Warcraft. There's no more PvE tournaments in Guild Wars 2, and there used to be. You know, no one does speed runs, speed clears tournaments and stuff anymore. So it's, you know, and again, we're not just talking about making Guild Wars 2 an esports game. I'm not trying to do that. Like there's no way we're going to get from where we are now to like an esports game. Certainly not at any time soon. But it can easily be a lot more balanced and competitive. So that's not what I meant. And then,
yeah. I think, I don't know. I'm kind of drawing a blank though. I mean, I think just it does kind of fall down to the community to kind of try and, you know, keep trying to reach out to ArenaNet and make constructive criticism, not just go randomly thing. Because I think a big part of why ArenaNet has kind of backed off, and I am kind of sad that this is the case, is because there's like so much toxicity, man. Like, I think Boots made a really good point that, you know, they're trying to determine between like the random bullshit, like the random lunatic just raving extremely loudly from his little pedestal, and the people who actually want to help, right? I mean, it takes a bit of sorting through the junk, right, to get to the good stuff. Whereas, you know, if you look on the official forums, there's some interesting stuff, right? I mean, I don't want to call it any specific individuals, but there's like people who talk in the third person and talk about how like like dual wielding daggers on Soul Beast is like is an alternative. Like no, like dude, that's not gonna help.
Or the people who say that the new Living Story ruined their roleplay.
Yeah, it ruined it.
I mean,
too difficult.
I'm not saying anything against role players or the casual players, but come on, it's a PvE mob that is meant to be soloed. Like the story is designed for solo play, and you can't kill it with a party. I mean, look, if you're skill clicking, well, whatever. I'm not gonna go there, but.
Hey, you dude. Wait, actually, no, dude. I actually didn't do this. No, I didn't do this. Damn. I know. Someone almost challenged me to do like a full skill click raid, but I never actually got around to doing that. I tell you what I did do. I did a RP walk. I did Matthias with only RP walking. I did that. That was true. I didn't even die once, by the way. Pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. But
I'm just saying, if you choose to skill click instead of using keybinds, I don't really think you can complain about something being too difficult. Like
my wife skill clicks 6 through 10, but she was able to go through the whole thing no problem.
Okay, well there you go. See,
yeah,
I mean,
she's a good skill clicker.
At the end of the day, like let's be real here, guys. Like you can get through Guild Wars 2 skill clicking no problem. Like it's not it will screw you in the PvP game modes way more than the PvE game modes. Let's put it like that. It's not gonna be too bad. You can kind of get away with it.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this? Ellie, Necro, Thief, Guardian, Ranger, Engineer. Wait, what is this? Some kind of weird.
This is just a copy boss.
Yeah, this is Well, speaking of all the classes,
it's a kitty meme.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Nice. Oh my god! Wow, this.
We should get Kitty on TeaTime.
No.
Wait, which kitty?
The person they keep talking about.
Not the one on Twitter. Not the
Kitty
one on.
Marks. Okay.
I don't know, man. It's curious. This brings it full circle back to World vs. World, guys, and this is something that I was kind of hoping that would get fixed with Path of Fire. And it's kind of like a balance meme as well. But basically, the classes that are hated in World vs. World have been kind of pushed away even further because of the way the balance has gone, right? So I was kind of thinking, like, how do you guys think what should we do to balance World vs. World, right? Because now, like, because of how good Firebrand and Necro and Rev and Ellie and all that stuff is, how good it is, now it just makes Ranger look even shittier than it already was, right? Now it's even worse.
That's not even... I don't know if that's true. Because the reason that so many people hated Ranger for so long is because you would have, like, full Berserker longbow Rangers stacking on top of a melee tag, and they would just go down instantly, instead of playing the way they should play, which is basically as, like, a backline, free caster. That's how you would play that build. And so that's why so many people got mad at Rangers and, like, consistently would say no Rangers allowed. And that sort of evolved with the meta as well, because there's other stuff pets are also useless, like what Ink said, yeah. But, I mean, that's evolved a bit. Oh, and also people used to epidemic off of Ranger pets. That was just another good way to stack conditions on a pet and then epidemic it and kill 20 people. But it's now, like, Soul Beast, like, I've even... GVG, in GVGs, like I've gone against guilds running longbow Soul Beast, and it's actually really annoying. It's not necessarily very effective, but like there's ways to run it. Yeah, you're right. It's not in the meta, certainly. But I mean, part of it is the way it's played. Part of it is the meta itself, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the meta itself right now is because you have a lot of overpowered builds that are wreaking havoc in World vs. World, I suppose. And I mean, the only way other classes could fit into it is if they find a way to either survive that thing that's happening right now or play directly into or against that specific issue for Zergs in World vs. World. And I don't know if anything really has the ability to do that. Like, well, how do you play around a Spellbreaker, or how do you play around a Firebrand or a Scourge?
In what? In World vs. World?
In World vs. World, yeah, with any other class.
Well, I mean, Power Herald, you throw on some Marauder gear and a hammer, and you press 2, and they all get one shot. That's one part of it.
That's a good point, but that's also a problem.
Right, no, that is also a problem. Well, with GVG, you have a bit more room, I think, because there's less players, and so you like things like Thief, picking off backline. And by the way, the NA meta and the EU meta are very, very different. So like I'm just talking about EU meta right now. The NA meta and the EU different. They're completely different. And you're just denying. Oh anyway. So like things like Thief, like sort of old focus party Thief, things like I said before, like backline, longbow, soul beast is more of a option in those things. But with open field like blob fights, you have less room for that because you can't. I mean, if you're playing a Thief, you might be able to pick off like a couple backline stragglers, but it's not going to make a huge difference because you're still not killing the other 60 people, and usually you're just going to get killed anyways on that sort of class. So, yeah. The problem is, though, like with any competitive mode, there's always going to be a meta, and there's always going to be an established group of classes that are stronger than other classes, in my opinion. Like, I'd be very surprised if they could make all 9 classes and all 18 elite specializations relevant in the game. I think that's impossible.
No, I don't want every single specialization relevant, but I would like it so that every class would have an option to play in every game mode. Because, look at Inks, guys. Inks loves his Ranger, okay? He deleted his Rev for his Ranger. Alright, guys? He deleted it. Okay? And now he can't play... he tries to get into World versus World. Just gets kicked all the time, man. He gets kicked because he's on his Ranger. Okay? And why shouldn't... I was really hoping for, the stances, man. That was supposed to be Guardian V2. Like, it was supposed to be another potential replacement for Guardian, but well, that shit didn't happen at all, did it? Soul Beast, it's not a Guardian. It could have been. Maybe it could be even if they buff it a lot. But it's just a bit sad that the way it turned out. I think Holosmith is great, right? Because I think Holosmith is actually not. It's pretty decent, right? Like Holosmith as a DPS option is reasonable. In World vs. World, is this reasonable? It's a reasonable option.
It depends how much you can execute it, though.
Not really.
No, really?
Certainly not in EU. I don't know. I've barely seen anyone run it, and it gets. I'm pretty sure that it gets out DPS by Scourge, Weaver, Herald, and probably even Spellbreaker if they have the ability to push. And on top of that, it literally brings nothing except damage. That's all it brings. And every other class pretty much brings other stuff as well as more damage. I mean, Weaver brings a lot of very strong CC, and it also brings support with water. Herald brings a lot of very strong CC and out DPSs Holosmith very easily. And also, if you're playing Malix, then it brings resistance. And of course, boons with Glint.
So hold on a second. Are we trying to say right now that unlike in raids, high level PvE content, World versus World doesn't have every class having viable builds?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's never had that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really. There was always this thing called the Gwen meta, which was Guardian, Warrior, Ellie, Necro. That was the thing established forever because those were the best classes, and this was before Heart of Thorns. That everyone would run the Gwen meta because those were the only classes, and Mesmer a bit as well. Those were the only classes that really were used at all. And it honestly, it still is like very similar to the Gwen meta. There's really 4 or 5 integral classes. Never interrupt. Well, I don't know that.
So that's what I mean. Though, wouldn't it be nice if you could play all of them to a certain extent?
I mean, yeah.
It doesn't have to be the best. It doesn't have to be the best, right? Maybe the I'd be fine if it stayed as it was, right? These classes, the classes we play now, with our Firebrands, our Scourges, our Revs, our Ellies and Necros, right? Honestly, if those were the best, that's fine. But why not have, Mesmers are still smattering about the place for like all the super cool utility they've got, right? And then, what if there was something good, like a decent build for Soul Beast that would work as a replacement for something else? It kind of works in its stead. Maybe it does something a little bit different. It doesn't have to be better, just something that would work. And then maybe a Thief build that would work. I don't know. I would kind of like to see something like a buffer Thief, right? Like if you look at Boots' video, there's actually a really this is actually a legit thing that could be. Go. No, seriously, real talk, dude.
Sorry, did you just say that my minstrel thief is a legit
this
thing.
This is actually a pretty legitimate idea that someone actually PM'd me about this a while ago, actually, on Twitch, about like buffer thief, like 10-man might and 10-man boon thief, right? I think you could have stuff like that could maybe work. Like, I mean, probably people haven't tested that much, right?
Yeah.
But it has
it's
loads
also
of
1500 range.
Yeah, it's 1500 range. It gives like 25 might to 10 people. I mean, yeah, you know that's pretty good, right? Like having stuff that and if it added a bit more than that, then it will probably actually be a pretty decent thing to run, right? And having stuff like that doesn't have to be better. It doesn't have to be even as good, but to have something that's playable, right?
Something that goes a bit deeper as well. Sir just mentioned in chat, when I was talking about the Gwen meta 2 years ago, he's 100% right with this. It was even more diverse. Even though there were only like 4 or 5 classes used, there were different builds with this. Like every guild had a different Guardian build. And now everyone runs the same exact thing. Meta battle, pretty much there's one build for each class in World vs. World, as opposed to guilds sort of theory crafting their own builds. And there's a little bit of, change probably, but for the most part, like, I still like whenever if I stream, right? Like I won't show my build on stream, like the exact build, because it's our guild build. But to be honest, every guild pretty much runs the exact same thing on each class. So and if there was a way to make, more builds diverse, it would be better, or more diverse builds viable, it would be better, as opposed to Minstrel's the only viable spec for Guardian. Like it's not good.
Wait. Serious question was, how does it feel knowing no matter how much you discuss, no matter how relevant the points you make are, none of it matters, because at the end, ArenaNet is North Korea. They do what they're going to do and get rid of all dissenting against them. Hey, man.
Well, they did nuke Weaver, right?
Well,
yes.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that one, dude.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
And before
Mr. Airwick 002. I haven't even tried yet. That's why there's nothing's happened, dude.
Well, and it's not just
dawn
that.
of a new age, my friends. I mean, Salt's on the case now, man. Arena better watch out. Salt's here now. Okay.
We don't have anything else better to do, anyways. So
yeah.
What else are we gonna do?
We have no life, man. That's nah. Now playing studying.
Well, Boots probably does, but
yeah. In fairness, Boots probably does.
Not much.
Yeah.
I'm studying while doing this, so it's fine.
Oh, shit, dude. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna distract you then, Plenyx. Plenyx, in your eyes, like how do you find the World vs. World meta right now? AIDS or fun? Go.
Both. Like there are some parts of it which I'm really excited about, but the thing is, I'm excited about broken stuff mainly. I love to just YOLO bubble. Oh yeah, you're stacking. Oh sorry, I just put the bubble there. Haha, nice. And just playing Weaver, you can get 500s, 1,000 damage done in less than a minute with one really good meteor shower and stuff. Yeah, I'm excited for this, but I'm also feeling back as I know a lot of people who play Ranger. Almost every single one of my guildie actually does, which is kind of weird. But yeah,
what guild are you in?
I have my own. So
did you just recruit Rangers?
No. The problem is they join my guild after they insta-level up using level 80 booster their ranger. So yeah, it's kind of hard.
I mean, it has a pet. It's a fun class.
I think that I think that every class, every profession should have a something to do in World vs. World for sure.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
But does it all have to be in a Zerg?
Well, okay, but here's the thing. I mean, there are roaming. You could roam on Ranger. Sorry, did you knock your? I was going to say you can roam on Ranger, right? And I mean, it's probably okay. I mean, I don't really know if I don't even know.
Not the best roamer in the world, but yeah.
But the thing is, what if you want to Zerg on Ranger? You can't. And something I wanted to mention. People were sort of saying this before. So part of the reason that Ranger and Hollowsmith and even Ellie, in my opinion, aren't viable is because of how strong other stuff is, right? So they knock them out of the meta. And so what I really, if nothing else gets listened to, ArenaNet, hear my plea: don't power creep so much. Don't just buff things to match Power Herald. Nerf Power Herald instead, so other things become viable. Don't nerf it to the point where it gets replaced, but tone it down. So
we should always remember skill splitting, please.
Right, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Skill split everything.
But I mean, the reason that you can't run certain things is because of how strong other things are. So as opposed to buffing the things that aren't really used, it's, in my opinion, it'd be better to nerf the things that are too strong, as opposed to power creeping everything up into oblivion, because then it's a vicious cycle in my opinion.
Because right now I would say that everything is pretty damn fast, right? Like if you're out of position for even a split second, it's boop, 25k crit from a Coalescence of Ruin. Nice meme, GG. You know?
Yeah,
I stood in a bubble. I stood in a bubble for 3 seconds. Well, look, I've got 50 stacks of burning now, and I've got no stability.
And I haven't been able to move for 3 seconds either, by the way.
Getting immobilized in a bubble. Oh, fuck that, dude. Seriously, it's
put friendly fire in World vs. World.
That's like 3/4 of my every single death on my Weaver, like just getting in a bubble, unfortunately, because they just put it in there and then randomly getting immobilized.
So he's been spending so much time in PvE trying to not just think about DPS in a bubble, but now in World vs. World, that's what they're trying to do the entire time, just DPS in a bubble.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
again, the metas are different between both regions, and on EU, it's. So you were asking before if Plenyx likes the meta, and I really like that range has a role now, because for 2 years no one really played range. But the problem is it's too strong. And it makes basically melee has gone from, or the meta has gone from only melee to like 3 out of 15 melee. So you had 15 melee players, now you have 3 out of 15. You know, and that's not very healthy in my opinion, because you went from one extreme basically to the other. So, you know, they need more of a balance. It used to be you would have a range squad and a melee squad, and they were both sort of evenish, and a focus party too. And it was a lot better. But now it's, you know, they've gone from one extreme to the other. So they have to balance the meta back out to make both viable, basically. That's what I would say.
One person in chat got my joke, by the way.
What was your joke?
Important. The DPS in a bubble joke. One person got it. I'm very proud of that.
Could you explain it so it's not funny?
Or more people might have gotten it, but just it wasn't funny enough. One of the two.
DPS in a bubble?
Remember a long time ago, there's the meme about DPS in a bubble. If you're just thinking about DPS in a bubble, you're not doing it right, because
DPS in a void? Math in a void?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh,
yeah.
A nemesis.
I don't know.
Mimesis?
Yes.
Is that what this is?
That's what it was.
He was right all along.
We can move on now.
He was right. Was he right, Boots? Was he right? Real talk, dude. Was he right?
Yeah, he just didn't know it was about in World vs. World.
Vacuum. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Vacuum is a bubble. I mean.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, that's.
All right, it's good enough. All right.
Okay. I have a question. Apparently I need to talk, so I have a question.
Let's go.
Yes, please.
What would you add to medium classes to make them more viable?
Group support.
Or improve, in that case.
To medium classes, so...
All medium classes?
Rangers, NGs, and Thieves. Well, Thief is fine, I would say, for focus, but yeah. I would still like to play like Solby slightly more in like the inside the whole melee blob, but yeah, it's hard to see, and range damage.
You can't just say all medium classes. It has to be like per class, because each of them has possibilities, I think, that could be improved upon. Like
the Solbies has stances like
that might be able to be done well.
Don't reduce the duration, at least in World vs. World, to make them somewhat more useful.
I just buff the hell out of the stances, man. I'd make them way better. I'd probably also make it so
remove
there's
the
some
internal
way...
cooldown.
Well, again,
I would maybe like...
Boots, no. No, dude.
I would just make it out.
Please.
If you tone down the damage that Herald puts out as well as Scourge, it's going to make other things start to be viable. Like I was saying before, you have before you buff everything else, you have to nerf the very, very overpowered stuff. You can also buff stuff like Ranger and Holosmith and whatnot, but you shouldn't just do that, because it's just going to be, again, just more power creep, which is not healthy. It's not good for the game.
Yeah. I suppose that's true, but I mean, I think even when they tone these things down, you're still not going to be running a whole bunch of soul beasts, are you? Let's be honest.
No, well, I mean, I don't know, because if the reason that you wouldn't run it now, in my opinion, is because so first of all, it's just single target damage. I think I feel like Soul Beast Longo is pretty much just single target damage. It's not. I don't know if it pierces or not, but it's not as good. It's not as, you don't have the same AOE pressure that a Revenant or a Herald has, right? So if it does a shitload of damage, but it still does less damage than Herald, then it's not relevant. But if you tone down the damage of Herald, then it's gonna start becoming more relevant. But you also do need to give it something else, because again, the reason I said Hollowsmith I don't think is relevant is because it literally does nothing but bring DPS, and it still gets out DPS by other stuff. So you do need to, it does need some sort of support or some sort of utility that it brings to the fight. So yeah, obviously that's stuff to look at. But again, before you do any of that, you have to make sure that it isn't getting out DPS'd by just thousands and thousands of damage.
Yeah. Well, I think they could bring some stuff like that in that regard, because the Hollowsmith has the exceeds, right? And if you have a lot of heat, they can me and Bird's on the same page here, man. They actually do. Doesn't the bubble defend people as well? Like I've barely played Hollowsmith, man. But doesn't the bubble give like an AOE damage reduction?
I have no idea.
I think.
No, I barely.
Or is it just single target? Or is it just on you? Oh, that's kind of shitty.
It might just be on you. The things I want to see. So for Hollowsmith medium classes, Hollowsmith, I want to see a role where they could go full on. Yeah, damage is good, but I want to see like kamikaze damage kind of thing, where you exceed and overload and do that blast with that last that Grandmaster trait, and so you just do 25,000 damage to everybody around you. I want to see for Ranger, I want to see the stances improved. Yeah. And for Thief, I want to see if it's possible to give them a secondary role in a Zerg where they are able to be permanently stealth, and not Minstrel Thief. That'd be stupid. But permanently stealth maybe, and just go to the back of the enemy Zerg and start picking off their backliners one by one. Yeah,
I mean but again, it depends a bit on the player as well.
Yeah. You could kind of do stuff like that now, I guess, if you could just kind of snipe people as the range. You could play as ranged. You could probably do that now. I mean,
but if you're permanently invisible, I'm thinking less. You could do the snipe, or I think probably just dagger would be more easy to kill people with quickly.
But you can't.
Like
I mean,
snipe and then kill.
You can't really melee though. You can't.
Seems like Boots is asking for Taliban in Guild Wars 2. It says in chat.
Adele.
God.
I don't know. I think there's roles that could be played. They're just hard to do and not currently part of the meta, so nobody actually wants to try them.
Hollow needs a pet, and it would be perfect. Merge Hollow and Ranger.
Yeah.
Make it a Hollow Ranger.
Yeah. The Hollowsmith is the pet of the Ranger.
Oh yeah, you could go out and capture a Hollowsmith.
Yes. And then they are your pet.
I don't want to.
And you send them in, and they fire the laser.
And they suicide.
And they explode.
Shit! They suicide for you. Whoa.
And it could be a skill that instantly kills 50 people and deletes their account.
Whoa!
Yes.
Deletes their
account. That would be balanced.
And do you know what? Do you know how that helps as well? Tell you what, this helps World versus World server population.
No more server lag, yeah.
Yeah, but hey,
you just
actually,
everyone out of the game.
I cannot believe we
just
haven't
fixed
mentioned this. I cannot believe they have guys.
Oh right.
How long has Guild Wars 2 been out? Right.
5 years.
5 years. They patched skill lag after 5 years, boys. Whoa!
Really?
Yes, they did.
Did you see what Nikki was writing in the Discord?
Yeah, well, they kind of memed. They semi-bugged.
It was an accident, is what she thinks.
Maybe. I don't know. They patched it, guys. Instead
of
checking,
skill lag is a lot better though.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did.
I'll tell you what they did. Instead of checking how conditions are, like 20 times a second, 25 times a second or something like that, they reduced it to once a second instead. There we go.
Accident or no, it was a good change.
So they reduced the number of like Condi bullshit they're calculating 25 times over. So there we go. They patched it, guys. Great. They figured out how to cope with all the Condi aids.
Is that so? Wait, is that what's creating that thing that I saw someone complaining about? That the last tick of
yes,
yeah,
that's precisely
because partial ticks don't. unless there's something else to fill up the queue, they don't work properly. The condition queue, like unless the line is continued, stuff like regen and damaging condies go all weird.
I see.
But it actually doesn't matter. It actually almost never matters. Ever. And
so what was saying it's like 100 DPS or something, or like 100 damage even, less or something.
If that, really.
Depends.
Because as long as there are other condies on the boss, it works out fine. So
Ben, finally we can use the "it's not a bug, it's a feature."
Yeah.
It finally applies.
They're gonna take
it really
that.
Applies. Yeah.
Ben
bugs the game. Fix World vs. World by accident. Perfect. Ben is the new World vs. World developer.
They accidentally fixed the game. So yeah, nice. It's good.
Yeah, but really, skill lag is the best that it's been. Maybe since I've been playing. Like, it's which is great.
I haven't really experienced it since they actually made this change. I'm not even joking, man.
Ridiculously small population that still plays the game, skill lag is less of a factor. It's very nice.
It is. It is amazing.
Now, for the next 2 months, when we have 0 fights against all the shit servers, we won't experience skill lag. Great time.
Nice.
It also works.
Hey, at least it'll make people not want to quit the game, dude. Because seriously, like playing with skill lag,
it's tough.
It is.
And before they fix the bug and skill lag comes back, that would be
that would be.
And before it's a bug.
I don't want to say that's such an ArenaNet thing to do, dude. But that would be such a fucking troll, dude. Oh my god. Imagine if they patched skill lag back into the game, dude. Why would they do that? No.
Well, just put a worm in the middle, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess they could make it less of an issue by, like, instead of 25 times a second or whatever it is, they reduce it. Instead of the difference between 25 and 1 is removing skill lag, they can bring it back to, like, they check it every half a second or every quarter of a second instead of 25 times a second. That way...
It's fine as it is now, though.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably do a quick patch to make it perfect, because right now, in theory, you do lose a minuscule amount of damage, right? But they'll probably do a patch to fix that bug. They'll change the way it works a little bit. But I don't think they're going to put it back. I mean, that would be... I don't know, that would be kind of sad, I think.
To sort of rewind a little bit, and I don't mean to completely go off track here, but... and there were a few people mentioning this in chat like a little while ago that I'd seen, but I don't know, I didn't want to interrupt. Something, I don't know, Teapot, if you at all, or Boots or Plenyx at all, watch the monthly ATs. But there was a bit of a fiesta yesterday.
The DDoS? DDoS?
Well, I don't want to say that word.
DDoS!
Okay, I mean, it seems like that. But this sort of ties in what we were talking about before with ArenaNet not, in my opinion, they're not really aware of a lot of what happens in like their competitive modes, right? So the monthly AT is sort of supposed to be like ArenaNet's highest end PvP content, right? And we're starting drama. Oh boy,
yeah.
no drama. And so they have it set up where you get to the finals, right? And there's 2 teams in the finals, and it's best of 1 for this AT, right? And the finals yesterday, there was this team that beat 55, which is for a very long time supposed to be the best team in PvP. And I mean, they're very good. So they beat them, right? And everyone was like, okay, they're obviously going to win the finals. And at the beginning of the finals, one of the players DCs for the entire match. So it's a 4v5 at the very beginning of the match. And then as soon as the match ends, he's able to log back in. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make here is that like there should be some sort of way to like redo the final or they need. I feel like ArenaNet isn't like if they don't even, maybe they don't even know that happened. I don't know, but like that sort of thing shouldn't be allowed to happen. It's the final of the monthly AT that everyone gets hyped up about, and then it ends up being a 4v5 in a complete clown fiesta. Like, how does that make any sense? These systems like aren't very good.
Very difficult to actually moderate a system that are there because how do you know it's legit? That's the problem, right?
Yeah,
it's tricky.
Well, I'm not even saying it's DDoS, right? Like, regardless of if it's a DDoS or not, like I don't think a 4v5 should be the monthly AT. Fine.
I think make it a best of 3. I think that's probably the best you can do.
Yeah.
Do you think? Because I think because otherwise people are going to be very cheeky with that. They're not going to be very honest, are they? They're going to be naughty boys. I mean, we already guys. Let's be real here. The French mafia has already taken over the leaderboard, guys. The French. The Garkosses have already taken over, guys. All right, they've consumed the leaderboard. They're going crazy win trading all over the place. It's hilarious. They won't be able to do it as well now because of the. Actually, no, they will. Feels bad, but never mind. The duo thing isn't going to help. Never mind. But I don't know. It'll be harder in Legendary, I guess. But whatever. They're just making it.
That was just like one example of something that happened that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I would just make it a best of 3. Why not? Because it's the finals, right? It's the finals. Come on,
yeah,
it's epic. Let's make it a best of 3. We've got all these.
And people
maps.
were streaming it too. Now that ArenaNet partners can go into ranked matches and ATs and stuff, it was being streamed.
Really nice feature there. Big shout out to our boys at ArenaNet there. Okay.
Well,
really
you mean Grouch. Because he was the one who put the system in 2 years ago, as well as all the ATs.
Our boy Grouch. Big shout out to our boy Grouch.
Work at ArenaNet
working for Amazon Games right now.
He's saving Guild Wars 2.
Saving Guild Wars 2 posthumously. Nice.
Postmortem. Yeah.
Thank you, Grouch.
Yes. But yeah, that great system. That again. I kind of feel like, guys, that's kind of the
They can just DDoS for 3 games.
It's the cherry on the top for the automated tournament system, right? Like I felt like after this arena, it's like, damn, our PvP system, we got that shit down. Now everyone can. Well, not everyone can watch. Like everyone can watch people stream the automated tournament because only the ArenaNet sellouts can watch.
When are you going to start streaming them, by the way, TeaTime? Since you're an ArenaNet partner. You should shoutcast the PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and me can shoutcast together. Oh, I'm not an ArenaNet partner. Never mind.
Nah, you can. We can do a screen share, dude. We can.
Oh yeah, that works.
Slight delay, but
we can yell at people and we can call people bad and get criticized on Twitter for it. It'll be great.
I'm not gonna call people bad. I'm gonna shout. I'm a pro shout. Didn't you know? I'm a.
I know, dude. I know you're rank 1. I know you are rank 1.
Well, no, Jebra's rank 1.
Well, so you're rank 2.
Yes. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm active.
Or are you rank 0? I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty bad.
Ooh.
Oh.
No.
Anyways.
People don't even watch they don't even watch the Yugo tournament to actually see the gameplay. They just do it for you, Roy.
Oh.
That's all they want.
It's very nice.
I think chat would agree. I think chat would actually agree here. Twitch chat will agree.
No.
Don't give a fuck about the game.
The only reason no one watches for me. Trust me, you'll see the YouTube comments. Where is Brazil? Who is this 12-year-old? Why did Brazil shave his face?
That's just every TeaTime ever, though, dude. I mean,
that's true.
You don't have to worry about that. I don't think.
I'm not worried. I love it. I would love to see Brazil, man. It'd be amazing.
Yeah. There's TeaTime memes. Like every time we get the same comments, it's pretty spicy, guys. It's pretty spicy.
My monthly dose of Roy from Ash.
Yeah, dude. Of course. That's
what's up, Chow, dude? How you doing?
Roy
dude?
from Ass. Ooh. Gachi. Gachi Muchi. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, DDoS isn't a new problem. It's not really something I can help with. I mean, how did they even pull that off, though? Really? I mean, if it was DDoS, how the hell?
They had his IP.
But how?
One of the guys on the other team had played with him before.
Oh shit! Oh no!
Again, I'm not saying it was DDoS. I'm just
You're not saying anything.
Yeah, but
he only disconnected from the game for the extent of the match. But again, I'm not. Yeah.
Best of 3 would be good. Is there any opposition to a best of 3 idea for the final?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's ever really been brought up, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I wonder how hard it would be for them to implement that actually to make the final a best of 3.
Probably not too hard.
It'll be okay, right? It should be alright. I don't know. Yeah, I think that would be nice. I mean, hell, I mean, maybe you could even make it a best of 5, and you could make the semis a best of 3 or something, right? But then again,
we should get QT.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, if you need QT can help out. They can help DDoS protection. They are experts.
Or the guy that's always in your chat, help I'm being DDoSed. He's always in your chat and he's always being DDoSed by them apparently, but he's still there. So he's obviously found a way to stop being DDoSed.
Yeah.
Let's reach out to him.
Yeah. We could do that. Did anything else happen? Did anything else happen? Do we have anything else to talk about?
I mean, this is sort of completely irrelevant, but okay. I saw Wooden Potatoes made a video about some menu for mounts that I haven't.
Oh yeah,
yeah, a thing now.
Yeah,
I need help figuring these things out. I don't know how it works.
It's not in the game right now, but it's like an add-on you can do.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's kind of an interesting thing. Is it completely irrelevant to everything we've been talking about? But the Guild Wars 2 modding scene, guys, is actually kind of a thing now, right? Mm-hmm. People, Chris Cleary is actually quite well, relatively active, I suppose, in kind of policing people. And someone did make this mod where you could, it's like a selector, right? It comes up and it will show the mounts in each quadrant or something, and you can select them and it will auto mount you up, right? Is that what we're talking
That's
about?
right.
Now?
That's exactly what it does.
And it got okayed on Reddit. The guy posted it on Reddit, and Chris saw it. And he said, "Yeah, we good. We're okay. We're all good." So that's kind of interesting, right? Radial mounts uses an overlay.
Radial mounts uses an overlay, which invades my privacy.
Ah, dim. Oh my goodness. My goodness, this drama, dude.
My DPS, no.
Yeah.
That thing is exactly what I wanted for the mounts when it came out.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted that as well.
Until I discovered you could just
keybind them.
Bind them to individual things.
But what
and
if
then
you only have 2 keys on your keyboard?
That's true.
That's a good point, Roy. Yeah. What if you only have 2 keys on your keyboard? Yeah. Shit. I never thought of that.
Well, I mean, what are the keys you need? You need the W key to go forwards and 1 to auto attack.
Yeah,
that's right.
Or if you're a GVG guild, you need the V key to dodge fights.
Woo!
Wow.
That's a spicy meme right there, I have to say. Pretty good.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, Bagwani died too soon, man.
Yeah.
He was gone too soon. But it is kind of interesting, actually, to see what people are going to come up with, because I imagine people are going to start to maybe do a few more mods. Like, what kind of things would even be good to have as a mod?
The camera. Like, come on. Unlock the camera for just any machinima, like, ever.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it already a camera hack, though?
It's a hack.
There is. It's a hack, though. They don't want to let you use that anywhere
else. But the hacks...
Yeah.
Because there is issues with having a free camera, especially in PvP.
Oh, hidden cooldowns. Yeah, that would be interesting. I wonder if that's allowed. Is that allowed?
What?
If you had a tool that can say track... the one that people used to complain about quite a lot was Illusionary Inspiration, right? The other signet on the Phantasm. Or something like, I don't know, Streamline Kits or whatever, like a tracker that would check the cooldowns of all your kit skills on NG or something like that.
Right. I don't know. I mean, that might clutter up the bar a bit.
That also
like, what if
a bit naughty?
If you had like 3 kits, then you'd have.
Like, naughty, though?
If you look at WoW mods, there's actually quite streamlined ways you can do that.
Official API.
WoW mods, they basically alert you whenever you need to do your rotation properly.
Pretty much.
They alert you to do anything in the game. Like,
can I just have a mod that presses all my buttons in the correct rotation?
Yeah, I mean that's the problem here, right? I mean, if you have stuff like this, it's going to get dangerously trivial, right? It's going to get raids are going to get dangerously well. I mean, you're just looking at the screen waiting for a bleep to tell you what to do, and that's. I don't know. I think that's stupid, actually. I think people who use Taco have already gone way too far, man. Guild Wars Taco, Guild Wars 2 Taco, whatever it's called, it can already tell you when to throw a bomb on the Sabbather and where to throw it. I mean, what the fuck? Like, who needs that? What's wrong with you people? I mean, in my opinion, that's already gone too far. What fountain to go
Salt
to?
Needs that, actually.
No, they should get good. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's already... I don't know, man. I think Taco's already... I mean, Taco is legal, don't get me wrong, but I mean, that kind of stuff is like, wow, really? A little bit too far.
It trivializes a lot of things.
It does.
Load up a rotation macro for easy DPS.
Yeah,
Plenyx, do you know anything about that? Is there anyone who plays with a macro in your guild?
They used to.
Really?
Yes.
Oh boy.
The old Scourge rotation, even with Epidemic, just every part of that was macroed and it worked. That was the disgusting thing like ever I've seen. Just makes like official API for like add-ons and stuff. Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
What would you expose though? He means for game data though.
The game data you have actually from the game, not like. Yeah. Oh, this is a picture, so I'm gonna screenshot this. Oh, okay. Then I need to recognize: is this a number? Is this like a text? Yeah. Like how the old DPS screenshotters did work.
Jack Snacks. Snacks.
Old times.
Yeah.
Just having that was good. Like, it was an idea to bypass this, but just having like one function in the API that you can just pull the data out of. Oh yeah, now I just pulled with this single function. I have an array of every single boon I have, and what's the duration, for example, or something like that. And then I can like completely redo the interface or something. Even with this, I don't know. But people like it is apparently. So
Yeah.
and it's. Come on, you have to face the reality kind of here. It's way too much work on their side, so
Yeah, it's not gonna
I guess
happen.
that's but that's why they are approving things now because
exactly.
someone else
Speaking
is
of approving
for them.
things. We do have through Arc. You have what's it called? Build templates. A sort of a way. Do you think they're going to come out with an official version of build templates anytime soon?
No, they have
No,
data for that.
so.
No, that was the reason why it was approved there, so they don't
because they were like, no thanks, we're done with it.
Well, maybe they will like do this. Like,
I think they will because I feel like it's an opportunity to monetize it.
Well, of course it's an opportunity to monetize. Just imagine buying like slots so you can save those templates
save your templates, store your items in a bank-like template slot or whatever. I'd pay a lot of money, unfortunately, for that. I have characters with 7 different armor sets in my inventory for each one. But I feel like I would go bankrupt if they ever did that. So I don't know. So you don't think it's going to come, though?
No, I would like to see a thing when someone, maybe even Delta, is going to like develop a way for like other people to use a part of the approved code, which like other people's can, just take and just do something with it. So so Arc, checks DPS and stuff. Okay, with build templates now, let's like make a core of this and maybe like we can somewhat make a better graph or something. Yeah. So that would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
I have successfully, during this stream, cleared up the inventory on all my characters.
Whoa! How many characters?
Value.
Yeah.
11.
Have you seen my inventory bits?
I have not.
You don't want to. You don't want to see his inventory.
I did something.
I'll show you.
As well.
I'm going to show you a picture of what the before picture on all my characters is this. Hold on a second.
Wait,
one of the most toxic world versus world guilds on Vabi. Bombing here, bombing there. Easy TT.
Look at the comments, dude. Look at Perky's comment. It's amazing.
Wait, what is going on here? Completely toxic and fully ignorant and offensive language. Oh, no, they're not really offensive.
Oh, there's a language filter in game, by the way.
Completely
squad for not running a specific build, bashing and burning people in map, and making the whole experience of running.
Wait, burning people in map?
Yeah, they're putting the burn stacks on them.
What? You can burn people in game?
Like this guy got mildly flamed, I think is what happened here. Well, this guy runs a I know this guy. This guy was flaming me in World vs. World. What the fuck?
Oh, but no, he says the underworld is a nice safe haven.
Wait, what? He was in my squad. He was flaming me. What the hell? Well, whatever.
Teapot, it's your fault. You're the toxic easy player, Teapot.
Well, never mind. Like this guy was an asshole. He also runs a really bad build on Scourge, but that's besides the point.
Exposed on stream, dude.
Yeah. Well, never mind. What's going on?
Did you read Perky's comment though? It made me chuckle.
Oh, maybe you should just get good. This guy, he makes a good point. That's a good point.
Oh god.
Well, this guy is obviously we are toxic. I acknowledge that. Dude, I don't know.
Teapot, the most toxic World vs. World player.
I am by far the most toxic World vs. World player. You think TT is toxic? You think TT can handle that shit? You got nothing on me, dude. I'm way more toxic than them, man. Way more toxic. Easy. I got way more.
Teapot is like Scourge and easy as like Reaper.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it goes.
Remember me talking about the API? Yeah, Mike is linking it like several times. Apparently, it is some version of it. It's out, but I only see the combat though. So yeah, I was like talking like more widely about it though, like not even allowing just the combat data, but even like the position in the worlds and stuff. Even
well, you can get that. You can get that with Mumble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should all use Mumble.
Well, no, you don't have to use Mumble. You don't have to actually use Mumble.
Yeah. No, but you can use the API they made for Mumble to get access to this. That's how Taco works, right? I think. Pulls this data out using this. I don't know.
I'm not totally sure on the intricacies of Taco. Tacos, dude. Tacos.
I haven't used it myself, and no one from my guild does.
I haven't used it either.
So I can't comment on this that much.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. Oh, Mike says that is how Taco. That is how Taco.
Yeah, there's no way they would actually hack into this that it would get from the game, not from this open stuff, but just access the game itself. That would be a hack. Well, even a DPS meter is a DLL hack anyway, right?
Did you just ban a theory?
No.
Wait, what?
No.
Why did your bot tell him to be quiet?
Okay. Well, I don't know. Just did. I don't know, man.
Oh.
But, yeah.
Fucked a theory.
Anyway. I don't know. Plenyx was talking about a more extensive API.
Just have access to everything. Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be official. You just need to
legal.
Make it legal. Yeah. Build templates are legal because it was observed apparently from what I've seen, and one guy who make things that this disrupts my privacy.
He's gonna steal your credit card details, man.
Yeah, definitely can steal your credit card.
I worked on the European Union for privacy, and I know.
Yeah,
you're going to jail.
He knows how precisely everything works, right? It's the same. I can just run my program, but I'm gonna send you my program, which is exactly the same thing. But I can definitely add something which will make me spy on you. Why would I ever do that? Come on.
No, I did.
Yeah, I can do it. That was his argument. That people that wasn't his argument. He was saying that it is happening, but the main point was they can do it, but they don't do it because they have some kind of a decency. It's I remember Teapot sending me his TeaTime, and that was interesting piece of code I've seen. I've never published it. I deleted it after because I'm a decent person. I'm not gonna say really? This is mine now. Yeah.
You are?
Plenyx is a good guy.
Yes.
Okay.
First, I made the uploader, which I only published to 4 different people because they didn't want it, but I forced them to it, and now they're using it, so it's fine. So it uploads logs to Gills to Radar and DPS.report sites at the same time.
I see your Keepo in there, Teapot.
Yeah.
In Discord.
Keepos are everywhere, dude. I like Keepo. Well, Keepo is one of my favorite emotes, dude. It's got the little ears. It's got the little straw. It's
tiny Meepot. Anyways.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just make every piece of code entire existent open source. So
I think so. Otherwise, I can't trust anything.
Yeah, I can't trust ArenaNet, not abusing my credit cards.
Do you know for absolute sure that Guild Wars 2 isn't a botnet that is mining bitcoins?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
The CPU is only because of those bits.
Exactly, yeah, that's why the game runs like shit. It's because it's mining bitcoins for ArenaNet. This entire... Okay, just in case, guys, disclaimer, that isn't true.
If you believe
I don't want to see a post on Reddit about this shit, man. ArenaNet is not using your computer to mine bitcoins, okay? I'm just...
But isn't Pokemon Go run by the CIA? That's what I heard.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Who knows, right? It is a possibility, but it's unlikely.
Oh god! Oh my goodness! You know what? I'll tell you what. Let's we don't even have to talk about it anymore. You guys want to ask us any questions? Yo, Twitch chat, look us up.
Hey, there you go.
It's question time, man. Let's go. Because really, we kind of run out a little bit of steam here, guys. Like we have some. Do you know why though? We've run out of steam because of how intense the discussion has been, man. It's been
how intense the typing is from Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll mute.
Crazy, dude. It's been crazy. But anyway, do you anyone else have any things I want to bring up?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm not going to be here next week.
Oh.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
What's your favorite gachi?
I want questions.
I think it's just the classic. I don't know, like the chandelier one is a true classic, dude. And honestly, the Africa one is really good as well. That is a classic one.
Afrikaans.
When is the next raid tournament? Well, depends if I can get people to play in it. Looks like some people might not be interested.
Just force them into.
Yeah. Are you gonna wait until there's a new raid, or what?
I will see if people want to play after the next raid.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got.
Well,
okay, I have a question for Roy from Ash. Who is better, Salt or TT?
Ash is number one. Get fucked.
Destroyed. Okay, let's see. While
Speak about
Weaver, etc. is like to be nerfed, how much ahead do you think these utility lacking classes, i.e. Thief and I, deserve to be ahead of others? Just a little bit, like more 2,000. I'd say, like in DPS. A little bit more. A little bit more. Or does anyone want to comment on that? You know, if it's got no utility, if it literally just pure damage, and we're talking from a PvE perspective here, if it does literally nothing else except damage, just give it a few thousand extra DPS. Boop. Job done.
Yeah, a few thousand extra DPS, that's nothing.
Yeah, it's enough.
Come on, that's their normal balance anyway, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see what's going
on. Or instead of having it have a level 76 blue weapon, you know.
Oh yeah.
No, dude, that is not possible for that not to be the case. Did you see that? This is such a great meme, dude. A dev replied to, could they change it? Could they change it to not being a level 78 blue? And the dev just responded in quite an interesting choice of words with something like, that is not possible, or something like that is not a possibility.
We don't know how to do it. Yeah. Sorry.
Wait, they didn't have ice bow, right? Why can't they do it like?
I don't know, dude. I don't know, man.
I was under the impression they did it with like the alley weapons, because that's why they're still. Like, imagine ice bow, like, you know, being accounted as a blue weapon. Like, that damage would be significantly lower.
It is technically a blue weapon.
But, yeah, it is blue. So maybe it was just thematically, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else have we got here. We've got some other questions. Well, the balance patch timing, I think we'll probably all be unanimous on that. That's going to happen at the start of the next PvP season, which is actually very soon, right? Is that this Tuesday? The season starts? When does the season start? I'll check. When?
Why would they...
Season starts on November 7th. Okay, so probably... yeah, November 7th probably.
The week after.
Yeah, the week after. It's probably when we'll get a balance patch.
Why would they, like, drop a balance patch before it, though?
Yo, shout out to my boy Nigma in chat, dude. What up?
Like, why would they do that? Like, the meta would be probably bad anyway.
Because they have to fix it.
Oh, will they, though?
They have to fix it, dude!
They only fix the things which is broken, apparently.
Well, do they though? Do they fix broken things?
Well, yeah, they bot fixed, you know, Firebrand. Yeah, imagine that 50k DPS. Well, not anymore, because it was a bot fix apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna probably boost it a little bit now.
Yeah, well, we're expecting balance patch Tuesday, right?
I would maybe even slightly nerf it or leave it as just nerf Weaver like below 40, and it's gonna be somewhere.
Wait, so what's Scourge PvE at now? What's it at for raids right now? 31.
Well, usable, but overshadowed by almost everything else.
Yeah. Right. So you don't want to leave it where it is now. You wanna bring it back into something.
Bring it up a few thousand. Bring it up.
Yeah.
I want to see if you slap 3k on Scourge, we good.
When
4K.
When was the last balance patch?
POF, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't since
just before, August 26th.
That, the last major balance patch? That was like the
last major.
August 26th.
So
it's been a while.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. I just hope that they will
16th.
They will do balance patch before the new PvP season, because if not, it's going to be a clusterfuck. I mean, they should have patched stuff earlier, but
yeah.
Are we?
I don't think they're gonna drop a balance patch
mid-season. No, I don't see them doing that.
No,
so it's either this Tuesday or it's in 2 months. Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to wait a while.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would
be funny. Let's see. Next question.
Or maybe they're maybe they're gonna like split skills finally and just balance PvE and War vs. World and balance PvP after.
That'd be okay.
I do need to be running soon.
Yes. Okay. We'll wrap this up.
Well, I can just leave. I don't
pretty quickly.
August 8th. That's correct. August 8th.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll do a few more questions then. A few more questions. One question is like the speculation about the raid release. New raid release is speculated to be on the 14th. Would they have said anything by now? Not necessarily, because actually they gave us 2 weeks notice, right? So they should. Actually, yeah. They gave us 2 weeks notice at one point, so it is theoretically possible. So we could get an announcement this Tuesday, and then the raid comes out in 2 weeks. Or it might be a bit later than that.
Well, lately they started doing only 1 week, right?
Yeah.
So they only like 1 week before they said, oh yeah, by the way, next Tuesday is another patch like Living World or something.
Yeah. Potential. Yeah, it's potentially.
It's like, I don't know. It's gonna be right after Halloween, maybe a week. I don't know. It is it's possible, but
yeah. It's possible. It would make sense. Like it can continue the stream, right? The stream of content. Yeah. Stream of that juicy content.
Yeah, that's it. And it's such a stream too, isn't it?
Would you think that they would like?
All right. How about trickle?
I mean,
we got some content for Halloween this year. We were surprised.
Yeah, they recycled old content. That's true.
And a lot of new skins.
If you can call them skins, that's true.
What do you mean?
Flaming fist, dude. The flaming.
Oh right, no, that is good. Absolutely, my bad. That's true.
Yeah, but no, you're right. Nothing for. Well, a festival is a festival is a festival.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, it's been that way for 5 years. You're right. It's been the same festival for 5 years.
I think that no, it's a bit different though. They have kind of brought some
stuff.
It
is a bit
different.
It is.
And they've done more. Yeah. Let's see. What else? A few more questions. How many years will pass before people understand that the new elite specs don't have to be used in all game modes? Never. That will actually never happen, Ajax. There will never be a time where people aren't complaining that they can't play Spellbreaker in PvE, or they can't play Deadeye in PvE, or whatever. That's just. I mean, you can, but it's just not. Again, this is you could do. Yeah. I could do. Honestly, I could do a TeaTime solo ranting about the PvE community in this game, man. Like, why don't they just understand how this works?
Hell, I probably could.
Yeah. Some specializations are just purely made for like player versus player interactions, either War vs. World or PvP itself.
And that's a good thing. Even it allows them to make better design decisions. It makes them to make more interesting. It gives them more design space to work. That it doesn't have to stretch across all the game modes. Come on, this fucking plebs, dude. Fucking plebs. Let's see. There was an interesting one about battle groups. A suggestion for battle groups or something. Let me see if I can find this. So 3 tiers. Well, 3 tiers for different play styles. You pick a group to join each tier. You can swap between tiers within the week. No swapping faction though. You choose your current tier from the World vs. World menu. Join as you would now. So you'd have like one group for fighting people, and one group for PPTing. I don't know, man. That seems a little bit weird. What is it? What do you mean? What would be the groups there? What's going on here, dude? What's up? What's happening here, guys? What's going on? What do you mean by that? I mean, it could be potentially be interesting. Like, you could have all the players who want to fight pile onto one tier, and you could freely move about the tiers. I mean, that would kind of... Would that work, though? I think you just end up with
It wouldn't be a lot of... It would probably get stale after a little while, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like every server should have a mix of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how would the ranking work with that? I guess you would just cancel the ranking. Cause,
one group for arrow carts.
Yeah, one group for arrow carts, one group for open field, and one group for night capping. Easy. Nice. Boom.
Portable cannons, let's go.
Portable cannons, dude. Portable cannons and Golem Week. How about that?
That could work. That would be a counter to the golems themselves, so that would be interesting.
It's Golem Week, but instead... Whoa, how about this? It's Golem Week, but instead of rockets, the golems shoot cannonballs.
That's right.
Oh. No. It's like, oh yeah, it's Golem Week. Oh, sorry, I cannot play this week. I'm sorry. You know, times work, and I'm tired. You know, it's Golem Week. I don't have to join this, and yeah. Ugh. I remember so many people quitting over Golden Week. At least for that week. It was fun the first weekend, but after that it was like,
not fun. What's wrong with you?
It was decent the first like 10 hours I played it, but then it was like, we just flipped EB Gary.
But I mean, you're
golems. Like.
What you're doing right now, Roy, is you're shooting down the solution to how to get non-meta professions a role in World versus World.
You mean a golem?
Put them in a golem.
that's true. You're right. You could do that.
Yeah.
But now we have to start balancing golems out. That's gonna just more balancing, dude.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Just upgrade guilds. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. The vehicle you can summon from camps in World vs. World. Make that as a mount and
sell that as a mount skin, dude. Easy money.
Yeah,
easy money. Wait,
a golem?
Well, maybe I meant still in World, but maybe just add that it's like the first multi kind of mounts where you are driving and there's one guy shooting out of it. That would be interesting.
Or you could ride an AC around.
That would be interesting. Imagine just attaching something onto it. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave before we completely destroy World versus World.
In that case, let's do a little bit of shilling. Roy, just before you dash off, who are you? What do you do these days?
Nobody.
What are you up to these days, my friend?
I'm a loser. I occasionally stream. Now I have a stream. I'm twitch.tv/Roy from Ash. It's hard to remember.
Not Roy next door?
No, that was taken.
Oh.
We'll say. We'll pretend. So I stream a few times a week of guild raids. And I also shoutcast the UGO. Actually, quick side note, the EU UGO was supposed to be today, but we had a bit of a health emergency, I guess. And so we had to postpone it, but that should be next week. So a week from today, it should be the EU UGO. So if you're interested in that at all, just keep up to date with that. And obviously we apologize for the inconvenience, but it will be next week. And hopefully if the balance patch is this Tuesday, I think that's actually going to be better. But yeah, I stream GVG and World vs. World, so if you like that, you can watch it. And there you go. Okay. But sub to Teapot, don't sub to me. I'm pretty shit, so.
No, Roy is a quality streamer.
You
want to see that quality World vs. World GVG content? Or, high skill content. That's where you want to go, then. Twitch.tv.
How about this?
The bots link
Roy,
that shit.
You could sub to both.
Do both, yeah.
If you're already subbed to Teapot, also sub to Roy.
Yeah, that's a good point. I agree.
There you go.
Yeah, I think we can agree on that. I like that.
Isn't the 31st a holiday in the US? It's Halloween, but no one takes it off.
Spooky. Okay. All right. Anyways.
I gotta run, but
yes.
Thank you for tea time, boys.
No worries. Thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
Let's fix World vs. World together.
Let's make World vs. World great again.
We can do it.
I'm on it, dude. I'm on it. Like, don't worry. It's in hand. Okay, it's in hand.
Lend me. I'll pay you to sub to me. That makes sense.
We got
no. All right. Anyways, see ya, boys.
See you later, man. Cheers.
Bye, Roy.
Okay. Because as Roy departs, nice little picture of Roy there. Let's go to Plenyx.
Well,
Plenyx.avi. Plenyx.mp3. What is the situation with you these days?
Why AVI MP3?
Because
Because what? Explain.
You know why.
I never got it.
You always.
Well,
I
got the API, but
yeah.
not the MP3.
Well, it's because you have audio as well, dude. Okay.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, hi, I'm Plenyx. I sometimes stream with webcam, sometimes not. It depends what my mood is and if I'm cooking or not. So, yeah, I usually stream not Guild Wars 2 anymore that much, but I used to a lot. And, well, I still do stream it. So, yeah, it's just Twitch TV/Plenyx. And,
Can you, next time you stream and cook, can you still do webcam, but do a webcam of the food that you're cooking? So, like, it's kind of like
did it, though.
He did that, though. Yeah, he did full cooking stream. Full cooking stream, man. Legit cooking stream.
God.
I did full cooking stream and social eating after that.
Yeah.
Also, I have to be like this because that is visible on stream apparently.
Oh, yeah,
So, yeah, hey. I think that is visible, hopefully. I still have a delay. Okay, I can see myself now. So, yeah, twitch.tv/Plenyx, and I also have a YouTube channel for some reason. And, yeah, I've announced it before on my stream, but I'm making a Weaver video, but it's probably not gonna happen. It's gonna get shelved as every single one of my videos anyway.
Weaver how? What kind of Weaver?
Versus World Weaver.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that sounds good to me. Watch out for that, guys. The bot will link that shit again. There it is for all the boys. And finally, top left corner, the true innovator of the World vs. World meta with Medic Deadeye. Spootspur, it's World of Enders. Let's go. What's up?
First of all, that's not an innovation. Medic Deadeye is an actual thing. Well, Medic Thief. Yeah,
Medic Thief is better around. That is true. Yeah. That is true.
But yeah, Boosper, you know me. I do bad builds and sometimes some other stuff. The end. World of Enders on YouTube.
All right, short and sweet. I like that. You got a lot of value in that package. And then finally, it's me, guys. It's me. I stream all the time. I stream every day. I'm always here. I have no life. Support my lack of life by following the stream, guys. Come back and watch all the time.
I can't agree on you having no life. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. With the gun.
Yeah, you're just like an owl, basically. Just live in the night.
That's true. But anyway, follow the stream, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. You know, hopefully you have had a good time there today. Enjoyed the wise words and intense debate of Tea Time, as it is every single week, guys. You know, this is the scholarly, academic center of Guild Wars 2, and that's why you need to follow that stream, guys. Follow me on Twitter as well. Inks isn't here. He can't farm you guys for followers, so I'm going to make sure I get ahead ASAP. He'll be back soon, guys. So, you know, we better watch out for that. Yeah. But, yeah. That's it. Also, sub if you want to. Support the stream by subscribing. Oh, shit, Inks is here. Fuck. Dude, do I ban him? No. Okay,
just ban him.
Shut him down. He's not here. Anyway, follow Inks on Twitter as well. Show some love to my boy.
Hold on a second. Is Inks not here because I'm here? Is this what's happening right now?
Dude.
Yes.
We already talked about this. Like, you weren't joking when you said that.
Inks, that hurts.
You was joking, man? Yeah, it was a joke.
That hurts. Yeah, I did.
But anyway, if you want to support the stream, subscribe. Buy Guild Wars 2 from our referral links. We've all got them. Buy 50 alt accounts. Get those daily chests, guys. Get some value out of those, all right? And yeah. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all that good stuff. Come back and watch every day, all the time. We're always here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I'll make the bot post all that stuff again. This is looking sad, man. This is really depressing. Dude, he's doing even like the lip trembling as well. That's really good. Whoa.
That's depressing.
That's really sad, man. Oh, you got me tearing up a little bit. No. No.
It's okay, guys. Just go.
Anyway, all right, we're getting out of here before this turns into even more of a cloud fiesta. We'll see you guys later in our internet caves. Nerf this.
Hey,
and we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate that. Also, nice sub Goodbye, my friends. See you guys later.